It's I hope you found the cause. I always talk about addiction in a way of there's a root cause. There's a root cause for addiction. Addiction is just not, it's just not there because you want to be addicted to shit. It's because there's something deep down your soul is struggling with. So I hope you found the root cause. 10 years. Okay, still 10 years is 10 years. No, you have to be on my Divine Moon Goddess page. You could switch over to the Divine Moon Goddess page if you want to now. I'm streaming on all of the pages. 15, yeah. I guess it's just going to be the morning of scammers. There's still an underlining cause. You know what I mean? You don't just do drugs just because. You know what I mean? There's always, like, even if you did just try it to see, there's still an underlining cause of why you're addicted, whether it's from an accident, whether it's from whether it's from trauma, whatever it is. But if you don't heal that trauma, release that trauma, the addiction is created through trying to numb and escape the feelings that you're feeling, right? So, that's some of the things. I feel differently about generation curses now that I've been through my spiritual path and I've worked a lot of with a lot of different clients. And what spirit has shown me is that we don't need to take on our generation curses. We do, but we don't have to. It's not a thing that we have to. We don't have to take on that shit. So it's really about empowering yourself to release that shit so that you're not holding the generation bullshit. And then you say, not me. I won't take this shit. I'm not going to carry on the lineage of bullshit, right? Right, right. And rape and molestation is definitely things that are on that top list of shit that replays. It makes us feel unworthy. It makes us feel like shit. It took our power away. But I will tell you, it's one of the things that you just have to keep fighting to regain that power because to it's easier to just fall back in these patterns, right? It's easier just to be in this shit. But you got to fight to get out of that because otherwise you just stay there and it's forever an excuse. Now, and I know that sounds harsh, but it is. It's an excuse to go back to those places, right? Right, 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 boo. It's one of the things that as a what I'm saying, I'm a person who has had many different addictions. I was never a drug addict, but I've abused alcohol, I've abused food. Sex was an addiction, okay? Um, for me at some times in my life. So anytime you have that ability, you know that you just have to find the root cause. And that's what you work on. You work on the root cause. Okay. Mandy, let me know if you have a question. So where does that stem from though? You know, you gotta ask yourself, where does it stem from? And if you do know the root cause, what are you doing to heal that? What are you doing to heal that part of you? Because just knowing where it comes from and saying, well, this is my reason and this is why I choose, it's just at some point you got to say that I want to heal. At some point you got to say I want to, I want to stop being in this shitty ass energy, abusing my body, abusing my soul, abusing myself. That keeps you in just a lower, energy. Your question is love for relationship and your son's right order. I don't get that part. You guys know I'm big on healing. It's one of the things I've talked about my whole kind of um, practice of healing. At some point, we have to become mature enough to say, enough is enough. That I can't sit in this energy anymore. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't sit in this energy anymore. So at what point do you start to reach out to get help? Not just what we know, because most of us do all the shit. We go to therapy, go to rehab, you go to all of these different things, and then you keep falling back into these same patterns. Well, when do you try something different? When do you seek out some type of other healing session, or what else do you do? Do you even think of anything else to do, is what I'm saying. What's stopping you from loving yourself the way that you should, though? What do you still not like about yourself? Because to me, that's shadow work. That's your shadow work. Okay. Mandy, why are they do you know why they're choosing to sell drugs and stuff on the street? Like, why is that the choice? Why is that their go-to? You might, Debbie. I've done two. And I am probably going to do one last one at the beginning of maybe 2022, just to kind of clear out a little bit more of stuff that's kind of lingering for me. Okay, good. I will tell you that if you can't get help through regular therapy, through regular psychiatrists, look into theta healing, look into quantum healing, look into past life regressions, look into energetic healings. Because I will tell you that those are huge in the energy, huge of opening up our energy and our getting past our ego and really releasing the shit that we're holding on to. Awesome, Jessica. Well, maybe that is a decision, you know what I mean, to move or or get them away from the city that you're in. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's a discussion. If that's their only choice, if they feel like that's their only choice, maybe they need maybe they need more choices, Mandy, you know? I mean, I have done so much release, you guys, with theta healing that I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, I still had a very destructive personality. I was very self-sabotaging. And I have grown and come a long way, but I've done many different types of healing sessions that have been profound for my energy. And it's so different from Reiki. Reiki, I love Reiki and I'm not putting Reiki down at all. Definitely not putting it down, but I think Reiki does a lot of surface level. Hey, Natty. Surface level work, where data healing takes you deeper into your consciousness and you get to some of those real issues and reprogram yourself. See, the biggest thing about any change in your life is you have to reprogram your mind first, okay? You can't just make changes and expect them to stick. You actually have to reprogram your brain, your energy, the way you think, right? It is hard, but it's doable. Mm. I will say, and I get it as a mom. I get it, Mandy. I will tell you that we want to save our kids, right? But there's some shit we can't save them from because they have their own lessons. They have their own um they have their own karma in this life. You know what I mean? You won't be able to save them for everything. You just won't. And I know that's scary. I'm not saying that's something you should be okay with. It's very scary. Yeah. Good morning, Valerie. The thing is, once I want you to just think about it like this. What this one person, this friend of mine, when I met him, one of the things, I was struggling with my first daughter's death, right? And I just could not get over the fact of me losing her. And he asked me a question that stuck with me. It actually pissed me the fuck off when he first said it to me. But he was like, he said, "You think your daughter is yours, right?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? She is my daughter, you know?" And he was like, "She's not yours, you know?" And I got pissed. And I'll never forget that. I don't even remember what the rest of the conversation was, but I just remember that part pissed me off. Like, what do you mean she's not mine? That's my daughter, blah, 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 you know? And the biggest thing I took away from that was everyone is borrowed. Our children, our spouses, our friends, everyone is borrowed in our lives. They're not ours. We don't own them. They're not possessions. And everyone comes with their own life path. And we are parents, but we are guides. We are the human guide, right? That's what parents are. You're the human guide. You're not the savior. You can't save them. That's the thing where parents go wrong. It's because you think you could save them from something, but you can't. Okay. So do remember that. And it's not to say like, oh, throw your hands up and not assist your children, but to some extent, you got to understand that they have their path that they have to go through. What you have to work on is to be a positive guide and role model for your children. That is where it's your job because just saying something doesn't mean shit. Doing in action is what really shows your children. I've learned that. So as much as we want to save them, we can't, you know? Like my daughter, I was a single mom. I was a teenage parent and my daughter became a teenage parent. And I was so frustrated and mad and hurt because it's like you live, didn't you learn from growing up with me? And one of the things she said was like, you made it look really easy. And it was like, well, damn. So sometimes we think, like I said, sometimes we think we're going to save them from their journey, but their journey is their journey. You can't change their journey, right?